Welcome to Divya Charita. Today we will see the story of Harish Chandra. The Markandeya Purana legend is as follows. King Harish Chandra lived in the Treta Yuga. He was an honest, noble king. His subjects enjoyed prosperity and peace. He had a queen named Shaivya, also called Taramati, and a son named Rohitashva. Once, while on a hunting expedition, he heard the cries of a woman asking for help. Armed with a bow and arrow, he went in the direction of the sound. The sound was an illusion created by Vignaraja, the lord of the obstacles. Vignaraja was trying to disturb the tapasya, the meditation of sage Vishwamitra. When he saw Harish Chandra, he entered the king's body and started abusing Vishwamitra. This disturbed Vishwamitra's tapasya and destroyed all the knowledge that the sage had acquired during this tapasya. When Harish Chandra came to his senses, he realized that the sage was extremely angry with him and apologized. He promised to fulfill any of the sage's desires to get rid of his guilt. Vishwamitra demanded dakshina, donation, for his Rajasuya Yajna. The king asked him what he wanted in payment. In response, Vishwamitra said, "Give me all that you have except yourself, your wife, and your child." Harish Chandra agreed to the demand. He let go of all his possessions, even his clothes. As he readied to leave his palace with his family, Vishwamitra demanded another donation. Harish Chandra said that he did not have any possession left, but promised to make another donation within a month. Harish Chandra started living in penury with his wife and his family. His loyal subjects followed him. When Vishwamitra saw the king with his subjects, he started cursing Harish Chandra for taking along his subjects, who were a part of the kingdom donated to the sage. The king then decided to leave the kingdom with his family. To make them go away sooner, Vishwamitra started beating the queen with a stick. When the 5 guardians of the directions saw this, they condemned Vishwamitra. The sage cursed them to take birth as human beings. These guardian deities were born as the sons of Pandavas and Draupadi. Nearly a month after leaving his kingdom, Harish Chandra arrived in the holy city of Kashi, only to see Vishwamitra already present there. The sage demanded the donation that the king had promised him. Harish Chandra pointed out there was still some time left in completion of 1 month. The sage agreed to come back at the next sunset and departed. As his hungry son cried for food, Harish Chandra worried how would he be able to make a donation to the sage. His wife Shaivya suggested that he sell her to get some money. After some hesitation, Harish Chandra accepted the proposal and sold her to an elderly man. Their child would not let go of his mother. So it was decided that he would accompany his mother, and an extra payment was made for him. Soon after, Vishwamitra appeared again and demanded the donation. Harish Chandra gave him all the money he had received from the sale of his wife and son. However, Vishwamitra was unhappy with the donation and demanded more. Harish Chandra then decided to sell himself. An outcast Chandala, actually the deity of Dharma in disguise, offered to buy him. But Harish Chandra's self-respect as a high caste Kshatriya would not allow this. He instead offered to be Vishwamitra's slave. Vishwamitra agreed, but then declared, "Since you are my slave, you must obey me. I sell you to this Chandala in exchange of gold coins." The Chandala paid the sage and took along Harish Chandra as a slave. The Chandala employed Harish Chandra as a worker at his cremation ground. He directed Harish Chandra to collect fees for every body cremated there. A part of the fee would go to the Chandala, a part would be given to the local king, and the rest would be Harish Chandra's remuneration. Harish Chandra started living and working at the cremation ground. One day, he dreamed about his past lives and realized that his current condition was a result of his past sins. During this nightmare, He also saw his queen crying before him. When he woke up, he saw his queen actually crying before him. She held the body of their son who had died of a snake bite. Thinking of his misfortune, Harishchandra thought of committing suicide, but then realized that he would have to continue paying for his sins in his next life. Meanwhile, the queen ready to cremate the dead body of their son. But Harishchandra told her that he would not let her do so without paying the fee. At that time, all the deities appeared, led by the deity of Dharma and accompanied by Vishwamitra. They praised Harishchandra for his good qualities and invited him to heaven. But Harishchandra refused to go to heaven without his public, who have lamented over his departure from his kingdom. He believes that they are the equal sharer in his merits and that he will only go to heaven when his people also accompany him. He requested the king of Devas, Indra, to allow his people to go to heaven at least for a single day. Indra accepts his request and he, along with his people, ascend to the heaven. After this ascension to heaven, Vasishtha, the sage of Harishchandra's royal dynasty, ended his tapasya of 12 years. He came to know about the unfortunate events that had happened to Harishchandra during these years. He started a severe fight with Vishwamitra, but was ultimately pacified by Brahma. Brahma explained to him that Vishwamitra was only testing the king and had actually helped him ascend to the heaven.